Hi, welcome to Yoga Chill. So, as the name suggests, this is a really chilled out flow, nice for stress relief, relaxation. So, no props in particular needed today, but a cushion or a block may be nice if you'd like it in child's pose. So, we'll come to start in child's pose. If you do want either a cushion or a block in between thighs and calves, or one underneath your head, then grabbing those. So anything to help you feel comfy here. And taking whichever child's pose feels good. So big toes together, and the knees can be together or apart. Bringing the forehead down to the mat. Maybe the arms reach out in front, maybe they come down by your sides. So taking a few moments to get yourself into a comfy position. And once you find yourself into your version of child's pose that feels really good for you, then allowing your eyes to close. And maybe checking in with how you're feeling today. What kind of day has it been for you? Have you been rushing around? Has it been frustrating? Has it been joyful? Has it been relaxed? Seeing what today has felt like for you, what you're bringing to practice, and maybe thinking about what you want to get out of this practice. Maybe there's a word or a feeling or a little phrase. So it may be, to feel relaxed, to feel less stressed. Whatever it is, and as you're inhaling, breathing that intention for your practice into your body. Seeing if you can get that breath to reach all parts of your body, filling the front, the back, the sides of your body. And then exhaling, breathing out anything that doesn't serve you, anything that you want to be clear of, anything that you want to remove from your body. Taking a few breaths like this, inhaling your intention for class, your feeling that you want to be taken away with you. And as you exhale through the mouth, exhaling anything that you don't need, creating space in the body for practice, for good energy. And when you're ready, keeping the forehead to the ground, lifting it just slightly as you walk your hands over to the right hand side, bringing your chest over your right thigh, and then allowing the forehead to come back down to the ground, coming into a little side stretch, stretching over to the right hand side, a little gentle opening for the left side of your body. And seeing if you can breathe some openings, some space into the left side of your body. And then slowly walking your hands back over to center. And then over to the other side. So over to the left hand side. And your body comes over your left thigh, allowing the forehead to come down, or it can rest on a cushion. A really gentle little opening twist, allowing the eyes to stay closed. Breathing nice openness, spaciousness into the right side of your body. Making your way back to center whenever you're ready. One more deep breath in your child's pose. And then gently rising up onto all fours, onto hands and knees, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Taking a few cat-cows when you're ready at your own pace, whatever's feeling good for you. On your next inhale, the tailbone rises, rolling through the spine as the chest comes through the arms, opening up. And exhaling, rolling the other way, tucking and rounding the chin, rounding the spine. So coming through this really, really slowly. You can keep the eyes closed if that feels good. Opening and broadening through the chest as you inhale. Tucking the chin, rounding the spine as you exhale. Coming through one more time at whatever pace feels good for you, or whatever kind of movement feels good for you. So these can be really small movements, they can be bigger movements. And when you're ready, coming back into center. Tucking the toes underneath, pressing through your hands to lift your hips into downward facing dog, allowing yourself a generous, nice big bend in your knees. Your head comes heavy, gaze in between the legs at the back of the mat. And then really slowly, walking the feet, little baby steps, one by one, up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. When you get there, taking one hand into each elbow, coming into a ragdoll, into a forward fold. Your head is completely heavy and relaxed. Gently on your next inhale, bringing your hands to your shins, drawing your spine long. Reaching out tall from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. And exhale back into forward fold. So maybe into the ragdoll with the arms. Maybe the arms dangle. Maybe the hands come to the ground. You can take a bend in the legs if you want. And then inhale, really slowly, one by one, rolling up through the spine, through the vertebrae of the spine. When you get to standing, reaching up with the arms, bringing the palms together, reaching up through the tips of the fingers. As you exhale, separating the arms into a cactus shape and lion's breath if you wish. Bringing your hands to prayer whenever you're ready, in front of your heart. Staying at the front of your mat, coming through a little walking meditation, a cloud salutation, I like to call it. Grounding down through your left foot, so really focusing on the points of the left foot that support you, the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe and the heel. And without lifting the right foot, getting a sense of the weight coming into the left foot. And then gently onto the other side, grounding down through the right foot, through those 3 points, the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the heel. And whenever you're ready on that right foot, maybe the left knee begins to bend. Allowing the arms to come down by the side and keeping the palms facing the body for now. As you inhale, the arms start to lift and maybe the toes also lift from the ground. When the hands come above the head, exhaling, the hands and the foot begin to come down. And then swapping over onto the other leg. Inhaling as the arms reach up. And exhaling down. So it's okay to wobble here. Swapping one leg to the other. And you don't even have to lift the foot if you'd rather just lift the hands. So getting a hang of this movement. Maybe being able to feel into the body. If you want to, you can begin to add a warrior 3 into this sequence if you like. So if you're adding a warrior 3, as the hands come down, instead you're bringing them in front into prayer. And then you're leaning forwards and coming down. And then option to keep that foot lifted if you want, if you're taking that warrior 3. So there's no real right or wrong with this. It's finding a movement that works for you. So like I said, you can absolutely leave that foot on the ground if you want. And just focus on the arms and the breath. So whenever the arms come up, you're inhaling. And whenever the arms come down, you're exhaling. And if you are taking the warrior 3, then you're bringing the hands into prayer. And you're doing a little tip forwards. So option for the foot to be off or on the ground as much as feels good. Oops. Option to wobble. And whenever you come to the end of your next exhale, you can find your way back to stand. Bringing the hands to prayer, allowing the eyes to close. Breathing deep into the body and taking a few breaths here. If it feels good to carry on with your cloud salutation, you can carry on if it's feeling really meditative, if you're in a good place. Whenever you're ready, taking a nice open step down your mat, bringing the feet to parallel with the edges of the mat. So it can be as wide or as narrow a stance as feels good. Inhaling, drawing up tall through the spine. Exhaling, bringing the hands to the waist, folding forwards, leading with your chest. Coming into a wide leg forward fold. So if the hands comfortably reach the ground, the hands can come down to the ground. Or maybe the head, if the head reaches the ground. Bending the elbows towards the back of the mat. And if the hands don't reach the ground, you can leave them on the waist. Or option, regardless of which position you're in, to interlace the fingers and reach them up over the head. Allowing the head to relax, to be heavy. Really opening through your shoulders. And bringing hands down to the ground if at any point you want to, or keeping hands behind your back. On your next inhale, drawing the spine long, bringing the left hand down underneath your face. So you can pop your hand onto a cushion or a block here to bring the ground a bit higher if that feels good. And then twisting open to the right, bringing the right hand to the waist, seeing if you can open the chest to the right. And then either tucking the right arm behind the back, maybe it comes into your left hip crease, or if your chest and your back are feeling really open, then maybe there's space for the arm to reach up to the sky. So whichever version of the twist you take, seeing if you can allow the chest to be open, so it may be that tucking the arm behind the back allows a little bit more space in your chest than lifting your arm up. And when you exhale, bringing the right hand down, replacing the left hand with the right hand underneath the face, and then twisting open to the left. The left hand comes to the waist, and then option here to either bring the left arm behind the back, tucking it into the hip crease, or perhaps reaching up. Opening up through the chest, through the shoulders. And seeing if you can keep your right hip pressing towards the back of the room. Exhale, both hands come down, bringing the hands up to your waist, slowly rising up, leading with the chest. And then turning the left toes to the front of the mat and stepping up to meet the foot. On your inhale, reaching up with your hands. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, coming into halfway lift, hands to your shins, spine is nice and long, gaze down. Exhale, hands by your feet, or dangling, or taking that ragdoll, so anywhere in your forward fold that feels good. Whenever you're ready, bending the knees, bringing the hands to the ground, stepping back into plank, lowering the knees down and untucking your toes. Option here to come through a little really gentle vinyasa. If you like to, bending the elbows, lowering down to the ground. Inhaling, baby cobra or cobra. If you're not taking the vinyasa, you're feel free to come into child's pose for a second. Exhaling, lowering down. On your inhale, pressing back up into your hands and knees. And then all taking a child's pose for one breath, no matter where you are. On an inhale, pressing back into your hands, rising up onto your hands and knees. And then walking the hands out, coming into puppy dog pose. So you can bring a cushion underneath the forehead, underneath the knees. Lowering the head down, coming onto the forehead, allowing the chest to sink down. The arms reach out in front. And if this doesn't feel good, feel free to take child's pose instead. On your next inhale, rising up onto the forearms, walking the hands back in, and then coming back into child's pose, taking Shavasana in child's pose if that feels good, or any other position. Getting yourself really cozy, allowing the forehead to come down to the ground if you're taking child's pose. If you prefer, you're welcome to lay on your back or to be in a seated position. Whichever position you choose as you inhale, breathing in deep through the nose, filling the whole body. Exhaling, a loud sigh, releasing through your mouth. And coming back to where you started at the beginning of class. How do you feel different right now? Is there a bit more space in the body? A bit more space maybe in your mind? Checking in with that intention, if you set one at the beginning of class. As you inhale, is that something that you can take away with you after class? Breathing it deep into your body. Taking a few breaths here to allow the body to release, to find spaciousness and openness. If you have time to stay a little longer in this pose, then please feel free to do so. Allowing your body to chill out for a few moments longer. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I look forward to you joining me for other classes soon. Namaste.